All right, guys, good morning. Happy hump day. We'll get things started here for the pre-market prep for the July 20th session. Hope y'all are doing well. Hope you're having a good week here so far. And we got to look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin popping here. So here's the scoop, guys. We know we're in a bear market. These are things that we know. We know we're in a downtrend. But if we look at the weekly charts of the S&Ps or look at the weekly charts of the QQQ, it's been a while since we got that weekly reversion to the mean. In other words, you get that bear market rally back to the weekly 21 EMA. It has kind of been a while. So, in terms of, hey, what are some things that we have to see come together to actually start to get some conviction that we might be able to get back towards that weekly 21? Well, that's when we want to take it down to the lower time frames. So for the S&Ps here, guys, the bulls definitely made some progress over the last few days. The key now is that they keep the progress that they made. So looking at the S&Ps here, as long as these things can hold, these are all a step in the right direction. We're back above the daily 21 EMA. It's a really big piece of the puzzle. And if you look at the big three signals, what's happened here over the last few days, looking back on Thursday morning, the S&Ps and the QQQ, we got the big three sell signal on the daily chart, the 4-hour, all the way down to the 5-minute. So what you've seen here over the last few days is kind of that transition where we get back above that daily 21. All those lower time frame sell signals get canceled. And remember, guys, we're looking over here at the big three labels. Right? All the labels under the surface go from red to yellow, bearish to neutral. Then you start to get some buy signals coming in. So we go red to yellow, then yellow to green. The 5-minute goes bullish, the 15-minute goes bullish, and the 30-minute goes bullish. So these are definitely steps in the right direction as far as, trying to get this market to get a little bit more going here to the upside. But again, guys, the key is they have to keep that progress. So I think one really important time frame you can focus on is going to be your hourly chart. Notice how back here we get the big flush. They trap the shorts. Then they start to rebuild the hourly structure. We get rid of the red arrows, right? We get rid of the big three sell signal. We're back above the hourly 21. We get the big push. Everything kind of starts coming together. But then, guys, look what happens on the first back test of the hourly 21. Your first dip at the hourly 21 just totally fails. And then we're kind of back to square one. We got our sell signals. We cancel out the sell signals. We're back above the hourly 21. We get a little bit of trend going. Then you get the first back test of the hourly 21. And it fails miserably. So again, we're back to square one. We got sell signals. We trap the shorts. We cancel out the sell signals. We did have that dip on Monday. Things were looking a little bit suspect, but the gap up yesterday keeps everything in the control of the bulls for now. So the point being, guys, if they can hold the structure, anchor to your hourly 21, anchor to your daily 21, if the bulls can hold the structure here, I think in the short term, we got a decent chance of seeing things grind a little bit higher. And for your S&Ps, your weekly 21 is up there around 405 to 410. Then if we jump over to the QQQ, same thing. Last Thursday, we got sell signals from top to bottom. Then the bulls make a little bit of progress. Back above the daily 21, all the lower time frame sell signals go bearish to neutral. And then you got some buy signals coming in. So the 5-minute chart goes bullish. The 15-minute chart goes bullish. The 30-minute chart goes bullish. So if we can continue to see this progression, we get an hourly buy signal. We get a 2-hour buy signal, a 4-hour. To me, those are all signs that, there's a pretty good shot here. We could rally up towards 310, 312 to get back to the weekly 21 EMA. So for now, guys, the ball is on the court of the bulls. They definitely made some progress here, but they have to keep it. They got to keep it. So the Qs, same thing. Right? Trap the shorts, cancel out the sell signal, rebuild the structure. Your first back test fails miserably. And we're kind of back to square one. So, we can afford to see a dip here. As far as like the hourly structure, the Qs could pull back all the way to like 294. Structure still holds up. So things to keep in mind, guys, but I do think in the short term, at least for now, the bulls have got control. So they got the ball. We'll see what they can do with it. But a few spots I think you want to focus on here. and not really a spot we've talked about too much on the channel over the years. But Bitcoin's actually starting to shape up here, guys. So the theme I'm looking for with a lot of my trades right now is, let's find something that's oversold on the weekly chart. Bitcoin is definitely oversold on the weekly chart. This is a good 2, maybe 3 ATR under the weekly 21. So your weekly chart is oversold, but then your daily chart starts to clean up. Couple closes back above the daily 21, positive shift on the histogram, and then we can see the progress from the ground up on the big 3 signals. So you got to imagine back down here at the lows, we got the red label, we got the sell signal on every time frame. Right? The daily is bearish, the 4-hour, even the 5-minute. There's the progress though. Over the last few days here, all those lower time frame sell signals went from bearish to neutral, red to yellow, and now you can see the bulls are really making some progress with the buy signal on the 5-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute, 1-hour, and the 2-hour. So for the last few days here, my favorite combo, the squeeze plus the buy signal, it's been kicking some ass here in Bitcoin. Hourly squeeze, hourly buy signal. Pop goes the weasel. Hourly squeeze, hourly buy signal. Pop goes the weasel. Hourly squeeze, hourly buy signal. So kind of fancy in Bitcoin here, guys. Now, I'm not going to trade Bitcoin. I'm not going to trade a crypto. But if BTC can continue to rally here, I think you want to look at the Maras, the Coinbases, and the Riots. Those have made some really nice moves here over the last few days. You check out Mara. Total beast here. But it all kind of starts with that progress. You're oversold on your weekly chart. Then you get back above the daily 21 EMA. Then we cancel out all the big 3 sell signals, and then the lower time frames go from neutral to bullish. All that progress under the surface and the ground up, when you're this oversold on the weekly chart, that's what can get you back to the weekly 21 EMA. I don't care, guys, how oversold we are. We can be at, we could be 10 ATR under the weekly 21. If every one of the big 3 labels is red, we're not looking for that bounce, right? We're not going to look for that reversal. We can only look for that reversal when the indicator shows us signs of progress. We got to go bearish to neutral. Right? We got to go red to yellow. Then if we're going to keep the party going, we got to go yellow to green, neutral to bullish. So I don't really suggest you chase Mara at this point. But if you got an hourly buy signal, that means a few different things, a few different ways you guys can work with that. Again, looking at the Bitcoin futures, my favorite trade would be signals. Is just the squeeze. You guys know I love my squeezes. So 5-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute, 2-hour, 4-hour. Give me a squeeze of the buy or a sell signal. That's my favorite trade. There's other ways we can work with these signals. So for Mara here, all right, your hourly to your 5-minute are super bullish. We're above the daily 21 EMA, but there's no squeezes. If you look at the multi-squeeze tabs, no weekly, no 3-day, no lower time frame squeezes. So I love the squeeze, but we don't have to rely on it. What we can also do with these buy signals, guys, is look to buy the dip to the 21 EMA on whatever time frame has the buy signal. So Mara, for example, this could pull all the way back to 1050. If it holds up at the hourly 21 and we still have the green arrow, that's a great buy the dip opportunity. It's the same exact trade that I think a lot of us were taking, back in 2020 or even this year off of the daily charts. Valero being a great example. Again, there's my favorite trade. Squeeze plus a buy signal. Squeeze plus a buy signal. But notice here, guys, we pulled back to the 21. We find support. There's no daily squeeze, but we still have our green arrow. If you're looking to buy the dip, you want to buy the dip into something that has that buy signal. So on these lower time frames, you can look for the same trades. So for Mara here, it's a little bit extended, right? There's no squeezes. But if this pulls back to any time frame that has the buy signal, you can look to buy the dip, all right? Let's check out Riot here. I mean, crazy move, right? $5 to $6, $7. That's a killer move here, guys. Now, as far as Riot here, 30-minute, 15-minute, 5-minute big 3. And notice here, guys, how the label on the 15-minute chart is bright green. That's the ultimate combo. That's the buy signal plus a mid-compression squeeze. It's my favorite kind of squeeze. So anytime you guys see the bright green or the bright red arrow, that's my favorite trade. Everything coming together. So for Riot, nice 15-minute squeeze here. But the one that we bought some calls in on Monday is old Coinbase over here. Same dynamic though, guys. And you can find this dynamic right now in your S&Ps and your QQQ. You can find it in the semiconductors. Basically, the whole market right now has kind of got this dynamic. We're oversold on the weekly charts. It's been quite a while since we got that rally back to the weekly 21 EMA. But now we're starting to see some progress. Back above your daily 21. Get rid of every sell signal, right? No more red labels. And then the bulls start to take some control. The 5-minute goes bullish, the 15-minute goes bullish, then the 30-minute. So for Coinbase here, we're looking for a push upwards of 70 to 75 bucks. This is the one I think you focus on, guys, for a new trade because it's not as extended. Granted, if they all fall apart, they all fall apart. And if they all rally, they all rally. But I would kind of lean into Coinbase here just because you're not quite up there at 2 to 3 plus ATR yet. They're going to move together, of course, but Riot's definitely a bit more extended, and Moz a little bit more extended. For now, guys, that's one spot for you, the Bitcoin names. And I tell you what, I'm kind of thinking about maybe wanting to start to trade futures. Last couple of weeks here, the 5-minute combo, the 15 to 30-minute, just finding squeezes in the futures with the buy signal. It's been some pretty good stuff. So I'm sure my fiance wouldn't like if I started trading futures. I'd never leave the office, but some good setups out there, guys. Now, a few more things for you here. The semiconductors, we're seeing some really, really big signs of progress in the semis. Again, it's all the same dynamic. You're oversold on your weekly chart. It's been a while since we got back to the weekly 21, but we can't assume or we can't even consider looking for a move to the weekly 21. Which for the SMH here is around 235. Down here, guys, we can't even think about that. Daily sell signal, 4-hour, 5-minute. Here's the progress you have to see to start to get a sense of, okay, they're making enough progress here to potentially prepare the market for that reversion to the mean. Got to get it back above that 21. Got to keep it above the 21. We don't want any sell signals, right? Nothing on the daily, nothing on the 4-hour. No sell signals at all. And then we need the green beans. We need the buy signal to start coming on in. So notice how SMH looks a lot like Bitcoin. Just in terms of, okay, we're oversold. Now we're cleaning things up here. We've gone bearish to neutral. And now we're starting to go neutral to bullish. Doesn't mean this trade's higher from here immediately. It just means, hey, they've made enough progress here. If that next dip to the 30-minute 21 EMA can hold up, we can look for continuation. So as long as the market holds up, guys, keep an eye on the semiconductors. NVIDIA's made some great progress here. 30-minute, 15-minute, 5-minute big three. And we got the bright green on the 5-minute. So my favorite combo. Mid-compression squeeze, right? Red dot squeeze, plus our buy signal. It is a thing of beauty. AMD, 30-minute, 15-minute, 5-minute, and a little bit of extra juice there on the 5-minute. So AMD looks awesome. TSM, Taiwan Semiconductor. This is the 30-minute and the 15-minute. So if we pull up the 15 here, really good stuff. Just remember, guys, none of this is specific to Bitcoin, right? None of this is specific to the semiconductors. If we jump to the financial sector, you're going to see the same thing. Okay, here's your weekly 21. We're pretty oversold. Now we're back above the daily mean. We're canceling out sell signals, and the lower time frames all go bullish. So it's not specific to the financials. It's not specific to technology. It's just this is where the market's at right now. We're in a bear market. We're in a downtrend. Feels like potentially folks got a little bit too heavy on the puts. Now the market trying to do a little bit of cleanup. But I do warrant some, I do suggest, guys, don't fall in love with the idea that we're going to continue to trade higher here. Right? I think we've seen this movie a few times. Oh, here goes the bulls. Right? They trapped the shorts. We're back above the 21. So let's buy calls on everything. Then it rolls over. Oh, here we go. We're cleaning up. We're back above the 21. Let's buy some calls. Then it rolls over. So definitely do not fall in love with the idea that we're going to rally for a week or 2 weeks here. You never fall in love with any idea as a trader. What you want to fall in love with is a good checklist, a good set of criteria, which for me, we just turn that into the indicator. So I'm going to work the idea here that, yeah, we're going to trade higher for a bit more as long as the signals continue to line up. Come tomorrow, if there's no 30-minute buy signal, no 15, no 5-minute, and we're back under the daily 21, there's no shot I'm looking for higher prices. So that is a scoop this morning, guys. Again, it's not specific to the semiconductors, the financials. Pick a few spots that fit your criteria, then focus on those few spots, but always anchor to the market. If you're long anything right now, you don't want to see the S&Ps back under the hourly 21. No bueno, no bueno. Before I jump in the chat here, guys, a few scan results from this morning. Every day is a little bit different, as far as where's the plate of opportunity. Before I show you guys that, let's do some housekeeping here. We got the free webinar tonight, guys. Come through, come show your support, come hang out. We'll be together for maybe 45 minutes to an hour. And, we'll do a couple of slides talking about the basics of the indicator. But then what I want to do with you guys is kind of fire up a few scans and take you through the whole watchlist building routine. And if you do come through tonight, I'm going to send you home with a few goodies. Couple scans for you guys to go home with. But as far as this morning's results, guys, a lot of the combos that I like, squeeze plus a buy signal, they're actually on the 5-minute chart. So if you look at a few here, you got Big Mama S&P 500, 5-minute squeeze of the buy signal, 5-minute squeeze of the buy signal, 5-minute squeeze with the buy signal. We got the QQQ. You might have heard of this one. Squeeze buy signal, squeeze buy signal. I like that. IWM, I believe. IWM here. Yep, 5-minute squeeze with 30-minute, 15-minute, 5-minute big three. Then we got Apple, right? The big Apple. 5-minute squeeze with the buy signal. We have got Amazon. You guys might have heard of this one too. I hear they sell books online. 1 hour, 30-minute, 15-minute, 5-minute green label. So what does that mean? That means trend, structure, momentum. It's all coming together to point towards the path of least resistance being to the upside. So all my ingredients, all the tools of the trade, the stacked DMAs, the 10x bars, the squeeze, the moving averages, everything coming together in a nice, pretty 5-minute squeeze for Amazon. So Apple, Amazon, S&Ps, QQQ, NVIDIA, nice 5-minute combo. AMD, nice 5-minute combo. Adobe, nice 5-minute combo. And then last but not least, guys, Shopify, Chandler's favorite stock. 15-minute, 5-minute with a 15-minute, 5-minute squeeze. So all we're trying to do is just narrow down our watch list, whether it's a daily chart or a 5-minute chart, to nothing but A+ setups. So if one of you guys was to say, hey, check out, what do you think of the 5-minute chart on Datadog? I have nothing here, guys. In a split second, I can look at the labels here. I'm not looking for any kind of bullish trade in Datadog. Doesn't mean it can't trade higher. It's just not fitting my standards. Right? It's not up to par. I'm not taking the 15. The hourly has a sell signal. No way I'm getting long the Datadog. Then if you call out something like TSM in a split second, okay, let me go check out that 15 and that 30-minute. They got the green label. Sure enough, I like that 15-minute. Sure enough, I like that 30-minute. So keep things simple, guys. Make sure you have your checklist, make sure you have your criteria, and make sure every trade you take fits all of that criteria. But that's what I got for this morning, good people. I got to be in the options room in about 15 minutes. So quick look here at the futures, which are flat. And we can work with a flat open here. Bitcoin, on the other hand, Bitcoin's a little bit frisky here. So a few things you guys to keep an eye on. But if you got any questions, any charts you want to take a look at, if you got anything you want to take a look at through the lens of the big three, let me know, y'all. We'll hang out for about 10, 15 minutes here. And then I hope to see you guys there for the webinar tonight. 2 drink minimum for the webinar. Hey, what's up, Willie G? Willie G. Hugo, what's up, Hugo? ARGX. Really random, but this reminds me of EGRX. When I first started trading back in the day, I had one of my first big trades on EGRX. And if I remember correctly, I was working with one of my mentors, Chris. I think he made like $50,000 in a couple of days. Needless to say, guys, that's when I was hooked. AGRX. Let's take a look, Hugo. So Hugo, on this one, now keep in mind, guys, these cheaper stocks, they can be a little bit of a wild card. However, very, very, very oversold on the weekly chart. This is going for 57 cents. The weekly 21's up there at $5. So I call that a little bit oversold. But what's interesting is, we're oversold here, but there's not a single sell signal. To me, that's an interesting observation in this market. We're oversold, but there's nothing really telling me here the path of least resistance is to the downside. If it was, we'd have red labels everywhere. So granted, this is a little bit out of my wheelhouse, Hugo, as far as the cheaper stocks, but a lot of the same principles apply. Oversold in neutral, and then even on a 5-minute, a 15-minute, if things can start to go neutral to bullish, those are some of the ingredients for a potential rally, even if it's a rally back to your daily 21 EMA. That's basically a double from here. So Hugo, for this morning, keep a close eye on that 5-minute squeeze. You got the buy signals for now. We'll see what they can do with it. But always make that observation, guys. Roku was a great example of this. It's like, Roku's sitting down here, 2+ ATR under the daily 21, but I don't have a daily sell signal. What's up with that? No red arrow, no sell signal. So if we're oversold but we're neutral, in other words, the bears don't really have too much control to take it lower from there. That's how you get these 30, 40% rallies in a few days. The shorts get trapped. The bears don't really have any control. Then you get the mean rip. Kind of the same dynamic there. All right, AGRX, guys. Let me go to the beginning here. Willie G, big oxy. Willie is out there wheeling and dealing some oxy. Look out, guys. Willie, this is a really impressive one as far as like the energy space goes. Weekly structure never budged. So I think for now, you really got to look at this weekly chart and say, this is still behaving like trend. Right? Crazy, crazy rip. Yeah, we were really overdue for a pullback to the 21 EMA. We got it. It holds structure perfectly. Your weekly chart never had any problems there. Now you're back above the daily 21 EMA. We don't have any big 3 sell signals. And the 5-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute have gone bullish. All good progress, right? All steps in the right direction to potentially try to get Oxy back to the point where it can start to trend for a little bit. I like that one, Willie, especially based on the weekly chart. I like it. Ethereum. Gosh, what is the guys in the chat here? Can somebody tell me the ticker for Ethereum? I'm drawing a blank right now. Ethereum. Let me try to find it on my phone. Think or Swim Ethereum ticker. We might have to pull it up on TradingView. Hang tight. Think or Swim Ethereum. Is it ETH? Oh, that's easy enough, huh, Willie? Oh, would you look at that? Yeah, Ethereum looks pretty good, guys. I'm not going to claim to tell you what the heck Ethereum is, but I know some pretty colors when I see it. Very oversold. No, so this hasn't seen the weekly 21 since April. We're going on 3 or 4 months here. Notice how the histogram in the weekly chart is starting to transfer, or starting to transition, red to yellow. You had the same thing back here. Histogram shifts, you're getting back to your weekly 21. But we want to add a little bit more. So, we want it above the daily 21. We got it. We want to make sure we don't have any sell signals, right? No red labels. We don't have any. And now this has gone from bearish to neutral to bullish on the 5-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour, and the 2 hour. Yeah, Ethereum looks really good here. 5-minute squeeze into the open. And you got a 2-hour squeeze here. Yeah, Ethereum looks pretty good. Looking pretty good. Not bad at all. Hey, Simpler Trading. I know those guys. So Travis, really, really good question, Travis. So Travis, admittedly, in this market, being that the trades I'm looking for, at least for now, are a little bit shorter term, I've actually been doing a lot more, straight up calls or straight up puts, as opposed to the credit spreads. A good example was like our Zoom trade from a few weeks ago. Zoom never had a daily buy signal, never had anything that said to me, hey, this is going to rally for weeks on end. The moment in time in Zoom was back here in the 30-minute chart. So that's all I'm working with. And, we can work with that for sure. But the context here is, okay, if we only have a 30-minute buy signal, we're only going to look for a push towards, 2 ATR in the 30-minute chart. If there's no 4-hour, if there's no daily buy signal, I really can't expect for much more than that out of the 30-minute. So in this case, being that can be a much, shorter lived trade, you're kind of in and you're out. We were in on Thursday. We got out on Friday. That's where I'm a bit more inclined to want to just buy some calls. Because you catch that short-term pop, you get a nice bang for your buck. Depending on how much time till expiration you give your credit spreads, depending on whether it's out the money or in the money, you're not always going to get the best bang for your buck on that shorter-term pop. Now, you'll get close to your max profit if you're selling put credit spreads that expire, in a couple of days. But then we start to run into some risk-reward problems. So where I'm a bit more inclined to want to, go with the put credit spreads. And granted, there's just not too much of this right now. It's the market we're in. But like Valero, UNG, Oxy, those nice trends off the daily chart, that's where I've been a bit more inclined to want to do the put credit spreads. Give me that daily squeeze in Valero with the buy signal. I've got conviction that can run for 2 to 3 to 4 weeks. So that's where I want to take the entry at the 21, sell some 115 put spreads, and just kind of sit on it and let it do its thing. I'm a lot more comfortable doing that inside of a good-looking bullish daily trend. Zoom doesn't have good-looking bullish daily trend. So kind of making some adjustments when that moment in time is on a lower time frame. Hopefully that makes sense, Travis. It's a good question. Good question. My man, Terry. Always good to see you, Terry. Terry always comes through. All right, what do we got here? Berserker. Bob in net, of course. All right, guys. Bye-bye. I don't have a read for you on this one. We're under the daily 21, so things can always get a little bit sketchy under that daily 21 EMA. If we're looking for bullish trades. But I also couldn't say to you, hey, this is a great short. I don't have any signal across any time frame telling me the path of least resistance is lower. So by default, I can't look for a short. But I also don't have any signals telling me path of least resistance is to the upside. It's all kind of neutral. So in other words, what I would kind of do in this situation is wait until I start to get some signals either which way. If I get a bunch of red labels, a bunch of red arrows, then I'm going to look for a short. If we get the buy signal, we'll look for a bullish trade. But, for my style of trading, when it's all a bit neutral, it just becomes a bit more of a difficult read. And then for net, we'll check our weekly chart. Yeah. So we're oversold on the weekly chart. Again, notice how the weekly histogram is going red to yellow. Look what happened back here when we went red to yellow. We got back to the weekly 21. So oversold on the weekly. A little bit early here, right? A little bit early, but we're still seeing a bit of the same dynamic. Weekly 21's way up here. We're getting back above the daily 21. We've canceled out the majority of the sell signals. We still got the daily, but your lower time frames are neutral and your 30-minute chart even goes bullish. Again, for context, we're one bar in to the 30-minute buy signal. So definitely a little bit early, but same principles. You get a 15-minute, you get a 5-minute, and if that progression continues, just by default that it's so oversold in the weekly chart, this could make a really mean rally. But for now, there's a daily sell signal. So really, before we can pursue that bullish trade, we got to get rid of that bad boy. All right, guys. Didn't get to all the questions. My bad on that. But I do got to jump into the options room over at Simpler in about a minute here. So why don't we do this, guys? We'll schedule another pre-market prep, same time, same channel for tomorrow morning. If I wasn't able to get to your question today, we'll regroup tomorrow morning. We'll try to bang out a few more questions. But I hope you all found this helpful. Wish you guys all the best of luck today, and yeah, I hope to see you all tonight for the webinar. So have a good day, guys. Be safe, trade smart, and we'll talk soon.